Donald Trump just posted an incredibly racist and disgusting video on his Truth Social account, and if you needed any more proof that he only exists to embolden racist and xenophobes across the country, then this video should be proof enough. But to provide some backdrop real quick, we're all aware of the massive pro-Palestine protests that have been going on college campuses across the country, and I'd say over the past 2 weeks they've only gotten bigger and more heated and drawn a lot of national attention. Well, in response to that, I believe last week we saw a bunch of frat boys from college doing counter protests. I don't even think they know what they believe in or what they're counter protesting, but they went out there with American flag gear and were singing the Star Spangled Banner just to piss off the liberals or whatever. That's all it was, literally just a vacuous counter protest where people want to performatively represent America. I don't think they know a single thing about Israel or Palestine or the history of the conflict. And you know what? That's fine. Even dumb MAGA people have the right to protest, the right to assemble. That's what America's about. But this took a dark and disgusting turn at Ole Miss, or University of Mississippi, when a bunch of white frat dudes began to encircle this young black lady and began to do racist chants and taunts, and they were making fun of her weight and saying disgusting things. One of them offered her a $100 bill to do some push-ups, which is a clear jab at her weight. But I think the most egregious part about this all is this video of this dude who starts doing these monkey gestures. He starts making monkey noises, which is clearly, unequivocally, disgustingly racist. He is making fun of her race in the most disgusting and degenerate way possible. I'm about to play this clip that was boosted by a bunch of MAGA politicians, but be warned, it's pretty heart-wrenching. I'm going to play the clip and then we'll talk about it. Of course, that entire scene is disgusting, but in case you missed it, I'm going to play the dude doing the monkey gestures one more time and zoom in on him. Before we dig into the MAGA politicians who boosted this, including people like Mike Collins and Donald Trump, I just want to give my opinion. That kid should be expelled, full stop. He should be expelled from the university. This does not fall under the First Amendment. This is absolutely hate speech. And beyond that, when you're on a college campus, your conduct is up for review in front of a board. I mean, you cannot just do whatever you want on a college campus. We all know this. And this kid is so incredibly racist that I don't think he deserves to go to this university anymore. And when some of these frat dudes were asked by journalists why they're there protesting, a lot of them said, I don't even know. I just want the other protesters, the pro-Palestine protesters, gone. I want them off the campus. I want the encampments gone. These people don't hold a coherent position. They literally were there to rile things up in classic MAGA fashion. So yeah, the dude who did those monkey noises, he's actually been identified online. He should absolutely be expelled and face consequences. And I don't think it's a stretch to say people like that are directly emboldened by Donald Trump's rhetoric, by MAGA's rhetoric as a whole. I mean, this video was immediately boosted by Representative Mike Collins, who said, Ole Miss taking care of business. What do you mean taking care of business? I mean, being absolute racist assholes to a black lady who is outnumbered 50-1. I mean, these people call themselves alpha males, but in the same breath, they need 50 of them to take on one black lady with an iPhone. And then you see the security guard in this video acting like the black lady is the threat somehow. The entire situation is an absolute mess. And if I'm going to be as charitable as possible, I'm sure out of a few of those 50, 60 white dudes, a few of them probably would be disgusted to know that their colleague was making those monkey noises, but that dude and the people around him, egging him on in his immediate circle, are terrible people. They're absolutely terrible people. And you know who else is a terrible person? Donald Trump, who used this video in an ad yesterday. He posted an ad on Truth Social talking about taking our country back, and he included a video of this Ole Miss protest.
I think the most popular college students right now are the ones at UNC.
God bless those UNC frat guys for taking down the Palestinian flag and putting up Old Glory.
Giving us some hope there that not all college students have gone woke.
They should be celebrated for, and what might be more rare,
is their bravery.
Again, they're so brave that it takes an entire mob of them just to intimidate a single college-age girl. But I think it's disgusting that we have politicians not only boosting this, not only emboldening this, but rewarding this behavior on social media. And remember, we've seen Donald Trump post some incredibly heinous stuff on social media multiple times that would only rile up the worst members of society. I mean, just a few months back, he posted this video, and in that video there was a pickup truck with a decal that had Biden hog-tied and gagged in the back. I mean, this is a direct threat on President Biden's life. I remember saying I think Trump deserves a visit from the Secret Service after posting that. Even back in 2020, when he was still on Twitter, he posted a video of his supporters, and some of them were chanting white power, and he said that they were very good people. The CNN article reads, Trump thanked great people shown in Twitter video in which a man chants white power. President Donald Trump on Sunday morning widely shared a video he said is from The Villages, a retirement community in Florida, in which a man driving a golf cart with Trump campaign posters is seen chanting white power. Repeatedly, over and over again, we have seen Donald Trump embolden some of the most violent and racist members of our society. And we know from events like January 6th that these people do act on their urges. They do things because Donald Trump tells them to. I mean, I always say this, but you can draw a direct line from Donald Trump's rhetoric leading up to January 6th and on January 6th. You can draw a line from that to the people who were there at the ellipse while Donald Trump was telling them Mike Pence is our last stand, to them then walking over to the Capitol, chanting hang Mike Pence, trying to stop the peaceful transfer of power, trying to stop the certification of Joe Biden's win. And to go back to that video for a second of the racist mob intimidating that college girl, after that video ends, another one begins where that same group starts chanting, we want Trump, we want Trump. So if you needed any more proof that Donald Trump's actions and his rhetoric on social media, and even when he was in office, that they embolden racists across the country, that is all the proof you need. Again, you can draw a direct line from the way Donald Trump acts to the way his supporters act. When every speech he gives is full of dog whistles, and not only dog whistles, but also explicit racism, saying stuff like immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country, which is a direct quote from Hitler, then yeah, that will copy down to his supporters who model his behavior. We see his supporters do stuff that Donald Trump does all the time. When I go to his rallies, they come up with nicknames for people. They repeat the nicknames that Donald Trump comes up with. They repeat Donald Trump's language verbatim. That is what we're up against this election cycle. That is what we're voting against. We cannot cede any ground to these racist, undemocratic lunatics. And I want to make sure that people my age don't lose sight of that, because a lot of people think that Joe Biden is far from perfect, and that is okay. But from a harm reduction standpoint, President Biden is better on every single issue. We can go down the list from everything from climate change to abortion to gun reform, to education reform. We can go down the entire list, and President Biden is better. Even when it comes to Israel and Palestine, we have people like Jared Kushner saying he would like to turn Gaza into beachfront property, and Donald Trump saying just get this over with, which means going balls to the wall. Meanwhile, President Biden is at least placing a little bit of pressure on Netanyahu when he can. He's helping build humanitarian ports, etc., etc. Joe Biden's policy is, of course, not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But again, from a harm reduction standpoint, from a democracy standpoint, it is a necessity to vote for Joe Biden if you love our country and love what we've built. If you appreciate the institutions that kept January 6th from being a successful coup, Joe Biden is going to protect and strengthen these institutions, whereas Donald Trump would not only tear them down, but he would replace them with Christian, theocratic institutions that would genuinely crumble our democracy. I'll make an entire video on Project 2025 soon. If you guys want to see that, make sure to leave a like, comment a blue heart, subscribe, most importantly, have a great Sunday.